Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, I hope that all of you are fine, feeling well, and I hope that you are giving enough time to your studies. Last time we had started this topic, which is basically the system softwares. So in system softwares, we have got different types of softwares available. Last day, if you will go to your Google Classroom, on day-to-day basis, I am mentioning the topics covered over here. And yesterday I had mentioned, let me open your Google Classroom over here. So you will be able to see that yesterday what was the topic we had covered about the system software, operating system, device drivers, and we had started the utility programs. Okay, so in system softwares, we said that there may be operating systems available. Okay, uh, in system software there are device drivers and utility programs and language translators. So we had covered up to this point, which is basically the operating system. Can anyone define the operating system? What is meant by operating system? Will you please define operating system? Yesterday we have already discussed about it. Yes, students, please.
Yes, sir.
Can you define the operating system?
Sir, software that controls the operation of a computer and directs the process of programs.
Okay, yes. This is basically the master control program which manages all the operations of computer system. We had seen this definition. So we are going to start this work on Jamboard over here. Chapter 1. Okay, which one is the example of operating system? Can you give any example? Operating system. Just like we said that Windows is its operating system, Linux is operating system, Mac is operating system. These all are the examples of the operating system. And we had discussed about this point as well, that operating system performs a number of tasks, allocation of resources, hardware, just like CPU is there, managing files, all the operations which are relevant to the file, these are performed by the operating system. It loads and executes the process. All the applications are basically dependent on operating system. Until and unless the operating system is not installed, you will not be able to use the application. Similarly, it controls all operations of input devices and storage media, and maintains security, and controls network operations as well, provide user interface. So all these things are there which are managed by operating system. So operating system itself is, it's a complete subject. When you go to your BS in universities, so over there operating system is taught as a complete subject, that how a process is going to be done, how the memory will be allocated, how the resources will be managed by the operating system. Then we discussed about the device driver. Moizna, can you tell me about the device driver? You were not, I think, available in yesterday's class. Can you tell me what is meant by device driver? Device driver is a hardware or software? Will you please tell me about it? Unmute yourself, Moizna Khalik. I'm unable.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is meant by device driver? What is your concept about device driver?
That controls the operation of hardware.
Controls the operation of hardware. So what is device driver? Device driver is a software or a hardware? This is my question actually.
It's a software.
It's a software. It is basically a program. It is basically a program that manages, that enables that hardware to work on. And yesterday I had shown you over there in the device manager that what are basically different device drivers installed, and I had explained you this thing in last lesson. Okay, so every device that we have got, whether it is a printer or it is a scanner or it is a network or any digital camera, network card, all devices basically they have got the device drivers. Some drivers are built in. These are called plug and play. When you plug the device is working automatically, just like in case of USB, monitor, keyboard. You don't need to install any driver at all. You plug the device and you're able to work on it. Okay, then their software is uh, basically having that program. Device driver is basically that program which is running that hardware. I hope this point is clear. All the devices, these are clear that all these devices have got their drivers. This is clear to you or not? Students, please tell me about it. Utility programs. Utility programs are those programs, utility programs are the programs which are, students, you are able to listen to me? My voice is clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, my internet, I was looking at my internet connection. Anyway, fine. So what is meant by utilities? Utilities, or simply we call them utility programs or utilities. Okay.
Sir, utility program is that that helps to maintain the proper function of a computer system.
Yes.
For example, antivirus software.
Yes. Just like file compression softwares. File compression. What is meant by file compression? When you compress the file. Yesterday I had given you the demo of the file compression.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, we have got disk management software. There are a number of softwares available which are used to manage the disk management softwares are there. The softwares which are there to protect our system, protection software. Protection softwares, what are those softwares? Protection softwares are those softwares which are there to make your system protected. Just like antiviruses, you have given the example of antivirus. Similarly, we have got firewalls. Firewall, firewall, just like the firewall is there with the Windows, this is basically to make your system protected. Similarly, we have got anti-spywares, anti-malwares, different types of softwares are there. These are automated in nature. What is meant by automated? Automated means they will work by themselves. Automated or automatic means you don't need to work over there. Just like when you are using Microsoft Word, so you have to do work over there. You have to type the document over there. Word is not going to type the document for you by itself. No, but these softwares are automatic in nature. These are going to do their job by themselves. Okay, you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. They are going to do the job by themselves. Okay, so this is very important that all such type of software, if you go to the internet and if you will go and if you search, let me give you the example over here. What are different utility programs available? So you will find out examples of utility programs. Utility programs, also called utility softwares. Utility softwares or utility program. Antiviruses, file management, disk management, okay, compression tools, file compression tools, okay, disk cleanup tools. Sometimes your disk is filled, you need to format it. Okay, file management tool, disk defragmentation is basically that tool which is going to collect the files which are scattered. Okay, which are scattered on different locations on the media, so it is going to make the files in a proper arrangement. Backup utility means when you need to have backup of some folder. You go and take archive of that folder. You want to have a copy of that text, of that data, so that if the data is lost in case, so you must have some backup in DVD or in tape drive or in any other storage media. Just like they have mentioned about disk cleanup means if I right click on it, if I go to format option, so it is going to remove all the data from this and going to create the sectors and tracks over here. So such kind of software, such kind of programs basically, which are there to facilitate you, and all these programs are automated in nature. They are going to help you uh, automatically, and you don't need to work in them. Just like if you are running antivirus system, so antivirus system will do the work by itself. You are not supposed to be worried about it. It is going to find out the virus, it is going to detect the virus, and it is going to take action against that virus, whether it needs to be moved from the system, or it needs to be deleted, or it needs to be repaired. Whatever the operation is required, they are going to do so. Okay, come towards, I hope that this point is clear. So what is written over there in the book? Utility software, or simply utilities, are additional facilities which are carried out, you know for the maintenance, for the management of the system. These are the facilities that you make over there. Okay. Now, similarly, if you see over here, they have mentioned about disk cleaner, file compression, utility program, antiviruses. All these are there, which are basically the example of the utility programs. Students, this point is clear or not? I hope that this point is
Yes,
clear.
sir, it's clear.
Okay, this point is clear, quite clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we had done yesterday up to utility programs, what we are going to do now, let me share over here the post for today. This is 2nd September. We are going to discuss about, now we are going to discuss about the language translators. Language translators. What are the language translators? Now, this is the next topic given in your book, language translator. Have you got any idea? This was there in the earlier grades as well. Can you give any idea about the language translator, students? What do you understand by the term language translation? What comes in your mind? Yes, students, please. Any idea? Language translator. What does it mean? Can you please explain this? What is the language of computer? Can you tell me what is the language of computer? What is the language of computer? Students, will you please give me feedback?
Yes, sir.
What is the language of computer?
Binary
Binary language, that is 0 1 0 1 0 1
zero one.
0.
Yes, sir.
If we are giving instruction, if the user is giving instruction in the language, for example, I am writing a program in C sharp, okay, or I'm writing a program in C++, or I'm writing a program in Java. So these instructions, these codes that we are writing normally in second year, you are going to study about C++. So when we are writing these instructions, when we are making a program, and these instructions are basically in English language, English like language, just like printf, scanf, see in, see out, if, else, for. All these things are basically written in English language. You know, these are near to the English language, and coding is there. So how the system will be able to understand? Will the system be able to understand that what we want to resolve from them? What is the issue? The computer system will be able to understand this thing or not?
Yes, sir, it's able to.
How? Because computer language is 0 1, and we are giving the instruction in C language, just like, let me give you the example of code, just like I'm writing over here, void main. This is basically the code for the C language or C++ language. I'm saying that integer a, comma b, comma c, these are the three variables, CLR, SCR. How the computer system will understand that what is meant by CLR, SCR, what is meant by integer AB, what is meant by printf, that I'm writing over here, and I'm writing over here in printf backslash n pss. What does it mean? How it is going to understand this code that I have written in language? So whenever we install the language, we also install another thing which is called translator. We call it
Translated.
translator of the language. Okay, are you getting this point? Translator is always,
Yes, sir.
when we are writing instructions in any language, there is a translator. Okay, translator, basically this is not a simple translator, it is a special translator. It is called language translator. It is called language translator, and we are talking about not ordinary languages of human being, we are talking about computer languages. Okay, just like C sharp, we are talking about vb.net, we are talking about Java, we are talking about C++. This type, these all types of languages, they need what? They need a language translator. We must have a language translator. Are you getting this point, students? Now,
Yes, sir.
language translator, we have got, there are some types, there are some types of translators, there are some types of translators available that we must know, because it varies language to language, it varies that what kind of language is there that you are going to use. So in your book, you will see that they have mentioned about assembler, compiler, and interpreter. I'm going to give you the complete concept about it, that what is basically the difference between these three types of language translators. Okay, these are the three types. Number one is called assembler. Number two is called compiler. And number three is called assembler, compiler, and interpreter. These are the three types. All these types are basically the language translator. All these are language translators. Okay, but assembler has got some other characteristics, compiler has got some other characteristics, and interpreter has got some other characteristics. We discuss them one by one. Number one is called assembler. We are talking about assembler. Assembler is basically assembler is basically a special translator. Special translator. Why we are calling it special translator? Because it is only used with one language, which is called, which is assembly language, which is called assembly language. Only used with assembly language. Assembly, you know, it is basically a language which is basically a higher form of binary language. You know, higher degree of binary. Assembly language is basically is near to near to machine language. What does it mean? Machine language is difficult or easy? Machine language is difficult or easy? Will you please tell me about it? Students, give me feedback. Machine language 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1. This is easy language or difficult language? This is easy or difficult? Students,
Sir,
you are not available.
yes, sir.
0 1 0
Sir,
1
it's difficult.
difficult. So I'm saying that this basically your assembly language is near to the machine language. So will it be difficult or easy? Near to machine language means it will also be difficult, but comparatively it is easy. If we compare it with the machine language, it is difficult for you to remember 0 1 0 1 1 0, or if I say that remember AX, which one is easy to remember? This one or this one?
Sir,
This one or this one?
sir, AX.
AX is easy to remember. If I say that
Yes,
0
sir.
1 0 1 0 0 1, it is difficult to remember. So it means that assembly language is a higher grade, higher form. Okay, one step advanced from the machine language, but it is near to machine language. It is difficult to program. Difficult programming is difficult. You know, nowadays it is used, but it is used rarely. Difficult to program. Okay, programming is difficult. The codes that we write in in assembly language is, these are called mnemonics code. Mnemonics codes. These are called mnemonic codes which are there. If you go to Google, if you type over there simply program to add two numbers or any assembly language program, so you will be able to see, I'm just opening some images over here. You will be able to see such kind of codes given over here. Okay, such kind of codes are there. So you will be able to see that move edx, okay, move ecx, move ebx1. Okay, difficult to work. If we compare it with the high level language, it is difficult to work. So any translator, the translator which is basically used for this kind of coding to translate, so this type of translator is called assembler. This type of translator which is only used for assembly language. Students, you are getting the point or not? The
Yes, sir.
translator which is used only for the assembly language is called assembler. This point is clear? This point is clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. So see over there what is written in the book. Assembler is a software that translates assembly language program into machine language, consists of symbolic abbreviations which are called mnemonics code. Mnemonics, which must be translated into machine language before execution. This point is clear. And which one is the software which is going to do this? Assembler is the software which is going to do this. Now come towards the compiler. Compiler is the translator which is used with the high level languages. Okay, it translates high level languages, just like in C language compiler is there, in C++ compiler is there, some other languages are there which are using compiler to translate the program. Compiler translates the whole program at once. Whole program at once. What does it mean? If there are 100 lines written in the program, if there are 100 lines written in the program, from line number 0, from line number 0 to line number 100, so it is going to translate the complete program, and then it is going to give you the output. Students, you are getting this point?
Yes, sir.
The complete program will be translated at once, and then you will be provided the output. You will be provided the output. Are you getting this point? Let's suppose
Yes.
if there is an error on line number 99, so output will not be generated because there is one error. There is one error on the line, on any line. 98 lines are correct from line number 1 to line number 98. But since there is an error on line number 99, so it will not show you the output, and it will give you the error message, and the result will not be obtained. The result will not be obtained. So what does it mean? Until and unless the complete program is error free, it is not going to show us the output. It will translate the complete program at once. This is the point that we must know. Student, this point is clear.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, now on the other hand, if we talk about the interpreter, what will happen in the interpreter? What will happen in the interpreter? See over there. The interpreter is also a translator. It is used just like with the languages of Visual Basic, languages which are there, Java is there. These are the languages which are going to use interpreter. What is the difference? This is also a translator, but the difference is that it is going to translate the program, translates program lines one by one. It translates program lines one by one, means it is going to translate the program lines one by one. What does it mean? Okay, it is going to translate the program statements, program lines one by one. What does it mean? It means that for example, there is a program code where we have got, let's suppose 1 2 3 4, there are number of lines. We have got 20 lines. This is line number 1 and this is line number 20. If there is an error on line number 19, so what will happen, that it will show the output of line number 1. The output will be visible for line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4. For all lines, output will be visible to us up to line number 18. But from here, from this point, from line number 19, it will not show us the output. What does it mean? That interpreter is going to translate the program statements one by one, and it is going to show you the outputs one by one for each statement. Are you getting, students, this point or not? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
We said in the compiler that program is going to translate the whole program at once, complete program at once. But over here in interpreter, we are saying that the program will be translated by one statement. So if this statement is correct, its output will be visible. If this statement is correct, its output will be visible until it finds the statement where there is some error. For example, in my program, line number 18 has got some error. So line number 18 will not run Line number 19 will not run, line number 20 will not run, all the lines after line number 18 will not run because on line number 18 there was some error. Are you getting, student, this point or not?
Yes, sir.
Clear this point?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, now listen over here. What is written? Compiler is a software that translates program written in high level language, as I have mentioned about the C language and C++, into machine language. It converts the entire program. This is the keyword. Entire program into machine language before execution of the program. Okay. Interpreter is a software that high level language into machine language, but it translates one instruction at a time. This is the keyword over here. One instruction at a time and executes it immediately before translating the next instruction. Gives you the output before translating the next instruction. This point is clear, student, now? Concept is clear, student, now?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So what we have done? We have done, let me open over here the Google Classroom. What we have done the language translator. All the system softwares are done now. All the system softwares, whatever was there, we have accomplished this topic. Means we have done this language translator, operating system software. We have done this operating system, device drivers, utility programs, and language translator. Students, if the question comes in your paper, will you be able to write or not? Students, give me the feedback about it.
Yes, sir.
Inshallah, if a question comes for 3 marks in short question or for 5 marks in long question, will you be able to write or not? Will you?
We will, sir. Inshallah.
Okay. Okay. Now come to the next point, which is application software. System software, we have seen 4 categories. In application software, now we have got 4 more categories available over here. 4 more categories are there that we are going to discuss over here in application software. Let me open one presentation for you. Just give me a minute. Okay. First of all, we must know that what is meant by a software. How do you define the software? We have already seen this definition in the previous work, that basically software is a set of instructions or programs which are written in some computer language to execute some specific kind of task. Software is a generic term used to refer to applications, scripts, and programs. Software is basically a collection, it is basically a collection of programs, collection of programs. This is called software. Now what we are doing, we are talking about the different types of softwares which are available. So if we say in system softwares, we have seen some categories already. Now, right now, we are concerned about the application software. What is meant by application software? An application software is a program or a group of programs that is defined for the end users. Why we are saying end users? Because these softwares are there to facilitate users. These softwares are there to facilitate users. Users will be facilitated by such kind of programs. If we take the example of this, go to Microsoft Word. Word is a software that is there to type text and to format text. If you take example of PowerPoint, so PowerPoint is a software in which you can make the slideshow. If you take the example of Adobe, Adobe is there to make graphics. All these are the examples. If you take any other example, so all these softwares are there which are there to help you. Okay, if I talk about the players, VLC player, Windows Media Player, these are the softwares which are there to facilitate the user to run any media file. There are a number of softwares available which are there for different purposes. Web browsers are there to open the web pages. Okay, so application softwares are there which are there to facilitate the end users. End users are the persons who are using those softwares. We go to the next slide. So system software is a type of software We have already discussed about. I don't think so we need to go through it again. We should go towards the only application software, I think, because we have already seen these all things. So application softwares, if we talk about, so what are different application softwares? Different application softwares are there. There are some categories, given in your book as well, just like productivity software, business software, entertainment software, and educational software. What is meant by the productivity softwares? Productivity softwares are there in which you are going to produce something. you know what is meant by this productivity software? Productivity means where you are going to produce something. What do you produce in MS Word? Can you tell me about it? What you are going to produce in MS Word? Yes, students.
Yes, sir.
What you are going to produce in MS Word? What you produce? What you make in MS Word?
Presentations.
No, I'm talking about MS Word. I'm not talking about PowerPoint. In MS Word, what do you do? We make document. What we do? We make document. So we are producing a document over there, in MS Word. Okay, we are producing a document over there. By typing the text, we are producing a document. This is a document that we are creating. So this is a productivity software. What do we produce in MS Excel? What do we make in MS Excel? We make some design sheet where we are going to make calculations, where we are going to make some evaluation. Okay, just like if I'm making some kind of result over there in Excel sheet. So what we are doing, what we are creating, we are creating spreadsheet over there in MS Excel. What do we create in MS Access? We create database. So in such kind of softwares, we are going to produce some product. We are going to make some product. Are you getting this point or not, students?
Yes, sir.
What we are creating in Adobe Photoshop? What you create in Adobe Photoshop? All these are basically the productivity softwares. Some are giving you some different kind of services. Now, what is meant by business software? What do you understand by the term business software? Can you tell me something about it? Business, what comes in your mind when we say business? Have you seen any business software ever? When you go to superstore, when you are making your bill, have you seen that they have got some software? When they scan
Yes,
the
sir.
barcode, the price is going to enter in the computer system. The price is going to be decoded and the discount whatever, and the bill is going to be done. So there are some different types of softwares available: accounts management software, billing software, payroll software inside the organizations. What do? They are going to make the payroll. They are going to make the payroll of the employees. They are going to do the attendance of the employees. They are going to make the bills. you know you are using some service of any internet, so they are going to give you the bill. So billing softwares are there. You are using telephone, so there are telephone billing softwares are there. According to the talk time, they are going to give you the bills. All these softwares we basically are the examples of the business software. If we talk about the banking system, so they have got bank management system, transaction management system. If you talk about the multinational companies, they have got accounts management system. If you talk about the pharmaceutical companies or the superstores, they have got inventory control system where they manage the stock whatever they have got, how many items are being sold and how many items are there which are being purchased, and what is the status by the end of a day, by the end of a week, by the end of a month. So all these softwares which are going to facilitate the shopkeeper, the business persons, the industries, the factories, the pharmaceutical companies, and the superstores, these are called business softwares. Students, this point is clear. What is meant by entertainment software? I don't think so that you cannot say anything about it. What is meant by entertainment software? Yes,
Uh, Games type.
gaming softwares. And the players, use players or not to play the audio or video. You have got different players available. Media player, VLC player, it's an entertainment software. Okay, movie player, It's an entertainment software. Gaming softwares are there. All game softwares are basically the entertainment softwares. You would have used a number of gaming softwares are available. Okay, so these kind of softwares which are used for the sake of entertainment are basically the entertainment software. What is meant by educational software? Can you give any example of the educational software? Are you using any educational software or not? Any application is there that you are using? Students, don't tell me. Have you installed Google Classroom
Home
in
app.
your cell phone? Have you installed Google Classroom in your cell phone or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so it means you are using an education software. I am using different education softwares over here, just like I'm writing on this board. This is an education software. This is basically the Jamboard by Google on which I'm writing over here. Okay. So the topic that I'm covering today, I'm writing over here that this is the topic. If I need to explain anything, I go there, and all this data, whatever I am writing over here, it is already recorded and it is being saved in my drive. You can see over here 7. I'm on page number 7. This is the work that we have done today. These 7 pages I have written over here today, whatever I taught. So this is a software. This is an online software for the sake of education that I'm using right now. Are you getting, students, this point?
Yes, sir.
Google Classroom you are using. If you go to the Google and if you will write over here the examples of the educational software, you will be able to know a number of examples. Okay. So our class time is now about to over, but let me show you the examples of the education software. Authoring system, graphic software, desktop publishing, tutorials, all these are the examples, okay, which are available. Educational softwares. If you will go and you will find out the list, OneNote is there, to do, okay, Nebo is there, Fluid Math is there. This is basically for mathematical application. So these all are the examples of the softwares which are helping us. So what we have covered today, our class time is now about to over. So let me write over there that we have done application softwares. In the application software, we have got productivity software, we have got entertainment software, we have got educational software, and we have got business software. The most important one is the business software because computer systems are all about the businesses. This is lesson for 2nd September. Students, up to here, if you have got any question, this topic is done over here. If you've got any question, please ask me, students.
No, sir. Everything is clear.
Everything is clear? Okay, thank you so much, all of you.